All right, what are the different important features of a Cloud Foundry? So for any cloud application platform, the four different factors are really important. That is in developer productivity, operator efficiency, security, and availability. So Cloud Foundry address all these different factors. Let's have a look at developer productivity. So developer can use their preferred tool chain and runtime. Um, so a lot of tool chains and runtimes are readily available in this platform like Java, .NET, .js, PHP, Python. So developers will get a lot of choices to select what kind of tool chain they want to use to push the code. So doesn't need to worry about the deployment and installation of that runtime and all those things. So that saves some developer overhead and increase the developer productivity. So moreover, uh, Cloud Foundry support both Docker and built-in containers. So these are two different ways of having a runtime and runtime. So Docker is a software or it's a tool chain to support container-based applications. It just it's a concept. We already discussed about that. It's a operating system virtualization techniques. All right, so there are built-in containers as well within Cloud Foundry, so which help you to avoid Docker. Sometimes you don't need to worry about container deployment and virtual machine deployment and their life cycle, etc. So Cloud Foundry automatically manage that. Cloud Foundry provide a lot of support for DevOps, so which help you to create rapid deployments. Also, it has a lot of built-in tools for centralized logging and dynamic routing, etc. So, for an application developer, these are non-functional requirements, right? So, always need to implement along with their business logic. So, these are already addressed by Cloud Foundry. So, developer need not worry about managing logging and routing. Imagine that if there is no such functionality available with this cloud platform, so developer need to take care, configure their logging system and create a lot of traffic rules, etc. So that's an additional overhead. So this save a lot of developer productivity. Coming to operator efficiency, Cloud Foundry provide a zero downtime deployments. So there are strategies like blue green deployment where we you don't need to shut down your production servers during production deployment, and you can deploy your new version of application code to without any delay or without any downtime during in production deployment. So these Cloud Foundry platform has some capability to do that. This also comes with an embedded operating system like Linux or Windows. So the operators operators has a zero patching effort. So whenever any patching required, it just automatically cloud platform takes care of that. Okay, so it happens as a part of an upgrade. And multi-cloud, because it's already described in many times before. So as a infrastructure, yes, Cloud Foundry abstract the underlying infrastructure. So there are, so it's highly portable. The application is highly portable. So there is one single platform for all the underlying infrastructures like AWS, Azure, and OpenStack, etc. So support multiple cloud. So so the operator doesn't need to aware of the underlying infrastructure configuration and all those things. Uh, Cloud Foundry manage it using via Bosch called it's a technology called Bosch. It it uses Bosch to manage all the multi-cloud. It's a kind of a wrapper on top of all the cloud. cloud infrastructure. So it helps you to save a lot of overhead for the operator and increase the efficiency. So it also provision vertical and horizontal scaling, right? Vertical scaling is about adding more hardware resources in the same servers, and horizontal scaling that adding more commodity hardwares, right? So a lot of new technologies like NoSQL, Cassandra, MongoDB that support horizontal scaling, the Hadoop, and all those things. So Cloud Foundry has the capability to do both vertical and horizontal scaling. So it has a centralized platform administration and provides some administrative capability and integration with external logging components like Elasticsearch and Logstash. So operator only need to configure corresponding components or integration with minimal configuration effort. Another factor is security. So there are a lot of built-in security features in Cloud Foundry. One is CRED Hub. It's actually a feature of Pivotal Cloud Foundry, a central point of credential generation and access control. Right? It's like managing your access control, user authentication and authorization in one place. Um, so that um, you know all the applications or uh, all the tenants deployed in that platform only need to have some kind of API to connect with the CRUD hub and getting authorized. Um, it's a kind of authorization server. So zero trust model. So gain more security and control on your app-to-app traffic and adhere to corporate infosec uh, guidelines. Yeah, that's another feature. So Cloud Foundry provide a zero trust model. I mean, so those who adopt this Cloud Foundry um, uh, can have more addition, can add more additional security features for app-to-app traffic. Can implement their own security features, etc. So there are some additional add-ons like IPsec, and so it's a feature of PCF, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, that will be really useful. And there are some network fabric support like firewall rules at app level, application level, firewall rules, which enforce the security or in application level. So coming to the availability and auto recovery and availability and health monitoring, right? At 4 layers of stack. So there are 4 layers of a stack in an application. So process, application instances, virtual machine, and availability zone, right? So these are different aspects. Availability zones are different. You have multiple data centers in different places, or you can divide you can logically divide data centers into multiple availability zones. So then comes virtual machine where actual application runtime is configured, and then comes the actual application, or where your actual code, the application code and its execution happen. And then comes the process. So process is more about a container, dynamically divide the operating system into multiple containers, right? These are widely adopted for 4 layers of stack in Cloud Foundry. So there are auto recovery features. So something failed, as your container failed, or application failed, or virtual machine failed, or availability zone failed. So there are uh, any failure happen, then Cloud Foundry is capable of recovering automatically all these stacks by itself, right? So we'll describe, we'll take all these concepts one by one, and you will have a better clarity, towards the end of this course, what exactly the different stack and um, uh, different availability options, auto recovery, and all those things. So let's move on to next slide.